I, Tiberius, Claudius, Drusus, Nero, Germanicus, this, that, and the other, who was once, and not so long ago, better known to my friends and relatives as Claudius the idiot, or that fool Claudius, or Claudius the stammerer, am now about to write this strange history of my life.
Are you there?
Yes, you're there. I can feel it. I can feel your presence, yes. I knew you would come the moment I began to write. Yes, it was inevitable. It was prophesied by the Sibyl. Spies everywhere, spying on me. In my bed, at my prayers, on the street.
Even in the lavatory, spies.
I'll cheat them. Everyone. It was prophesied by the Sibyl. I went to Cumae many years ago to consult her. She was most famous. Her prophecies had achieved worldwide renown, and she did not consent to see everyone. Unexpectedly, she consented to see me. I was terrified. "Oh, Sibyl," I said, "I've come to question you about Rome's fate and mine." "Hear me, Claudius," she answered, mocking my stammer. "Apollo speaks to you through me. Listen closely."
What groans beneath the Punic curse, and strangles in the strings of purse, before she mends, must sicken worse. 10 years, 50 days, and 3, Claudius shall given be a gift that all desire but he. But when he's dumb and no more here, 1900 year or near, Claudius shall speak clear.
Yes, that's what it means. In 1900 years from now, they'll hear me.
Not before.
No.
A box. I need a box.
I'll put it all in here. My story, my history of the family, yes. And the end of the Republic, yes. And when I've finished, I'll seal it up and bury it where no one will find it.
No. No one.
Not for 1900 years or more. Then it will turn up, suddenly. People will read it. They'll know the truth, my voice, as the Sibyl said, as she prophesied, for them. Not for these fools in Rome, but for them, out there in remote posterity.
Yes, for you. Yes, it will all be in here, sealed. You will find it, I promise you.
I, Claudius, am now about to begin this strange history of my life, of my family, of Livia, my grandmother, of Augustus Caesar, of Marcus Agrippa, yes, and his hatred for Marcellus.
really.
Yes, Caesar.
And see they're properly fed. Don't give them the scraps and the leftovers.
They'll eat better even than the kitchen staff, Caesar.
Well, there's no need to go that far. Better than us will be quite sufficient. You know, Marcus, I like to eat sparingly. There's too much gluttony in Rome, especially at festivals. But this one day I think is very special. I'd like to make an exception, and I've got a surprise for you. Two, as a matter of fact. Fellas!
Yes, Caesar?
Bring in the cake.
But Caesar, it's for the end of the meal.
I can't wait. I want the family to see it. Do you know what else I've got? Aristarchus of Athens is in Rome. Oh, Marcus. They say that he's the greatest orator of our time. And I've asked him to prepare an oration to mark the 7th anniversary of the Battle of Actium.
Oh, no.
What's the matter? Is it too boring for you?
Well, we had one last year.
That was last year, and anyway, the speaker was very dull. This man, they say he's wonderful.
7 years today sank Antony and all his hopes in the harbour of Actium.
You see how the young mock the battle scars of their elders?
Battle scars.
A lot of good men died in that battle, and a lot of good men got scarred. I don't think it's right to make light of it.
Oh, he's just being provocative.
Not really. I just think we exaggerated significance, that's all.
No, Sellers. Now, let's not argue. Marcus?
No, just a minute. Let's hear what the young genius has to say. Well?
Look! Here is the cake.
Do we get one each?
Julia, for heaven's sake! There, Marcus, do you recognize it?
Yes. It's my ship.
Yes, it's the one that you made your headquarters.
She was a fine ship.
Ah, that must be you, Marcus. The candied cherry in the prow.
Now, Marcellus, please. Now, these things mean something to us.
Oh, don't you think we're taking ourselves a little seriously tonight?
Not seriously enough, it seems to me.
Livia, isn't that a wonderful cake?
Wonderful.
What do you mean, wonderful? Don't you like it?
Why did you bring in the Greek? If you keep him waiting much longer, he'll need a shave.
As a matter of fact, he's bearded. Now, let's bring in the Greek.
Leave the cake.
Take the cake. You know, Marcus, they say that he writes a sort of prose hymn. What can that mean? It's a form that I've never heard of. One of these new Greek inventions. They're always inventing something. Why are they so clever?
If they're so clever, why are they a province of ours instead of vice versa?
Ah, Aristarchus, welcome.
Hail, Caesar.
I hope we haven't kept you waiting too long. Come. We're ready now. Give us your piece.
Give me your piece, Caesar, and I shall gladly give you mine.
Yes, of course, I'm sorry. Fellas.
Caesar calls for silence!
What a noise. Perhaps we should change places? Only the Romans can afford ushers with a voice like that. Did you have it trained?
I was an actor, sir.
Oh, that explains it. Resting, are you?
No, sir, I've given it up. Everyone's an actor in Rome. There just isn't enough work to go round.
And what there is goes to friends and relatives. It's the same everywhere.
The theatre isn't what it was.
No. And I'll tell you something else. It never was what it was.
We'd be glad, Thallas, if you discuss your personal problems in your own time.
Today is a day to drink and dance. Let us rival the priests of Mars with feats to deck the couches of the gods. 7 summers passed. The wild Queen Cleopatra, dreaming her dreams of ruin on your lovely empire, sailed her hopes into the harbor of Actium, and there with noble Anthony spat curses on the ships of Caesar and cried, "Sink Rome and all her minions. Egypt's not for conquests." But words do not kill, and curses sink no ships. Before the wind had changed or she could catch her scented breath, mighty Agrippa,
Marcus Vipsania Agrippa, old friend and commander of the armies of Augustus. Emperor of Rome, a most remarkable man. But even more remarkable was Livia, his second wife. If Augustus ruled the world, Livia ruled Augustus. Octavia, Augustus' sister, mother of Marcellus. And next to him, Julia, his wife, Augustus' only daughter. Augustus was now clearly preferring Marcellus over Agrippa, and Agrippa knew it.
And Anthony, once proud Anthony, fearing to be last, chased her to the very gates of heaven. Romans, remember them. Their fateful deaths grace your lives today with living legend. Your names and theirs in history will be forever intertwined.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. What a gift you Greeks have. Incidentally, the battle, you know, it wasn't like that.
No?
No, not at all.
Oh.
But you described it poetically. I understand that. It was poetic license. I'm used to that. As a matter of fact, I write a little poetry myself. Could I show it to you sometime?
I should be honest.
It's nothing professional, mind, but well, it's not bad, though I say myself. Thales has found a place for you. There, we'll talk some more later. Wasn't that beautiful?
Doesn't know much about naval battles.
Well, it wasn't that much of a battle, was it?
I beg your pardon?
Well, one wine-soaked lover and his Egyptian whore. I could have put up a better show myself, and I was only a child.
Now, Marcellus.
Oh, come, let's not fool ourselves just because we fool the public.
You know a great deal about it, do you?
Yes, I do. I've studied that battle, and I'm not impressed. You talk about it as if it was some kind of famous victory, when in fact the result was a foregone conclusion.
Look, why don't we all watch...
No, just a minute. Getting a little tired of being taught the arts of war by kids who've only just learned how to piss in the pot. When you've actually done something, lad, instead of just studied it, come back and talk to me again. If you'll excuse me.
Oh, Marcus, it's early.
Seems late to me. Too late. But perhaps that's because I'm such an old man.
Thales! Don't get rid of them. Marcus!
Grandmother Livia, her mind always turning, always scheming. And I, Claudius? You ask, where am I? I am not yet born, but will be, soon. But now I must continue with the story of the rivalry between Marcellus and Agrippa.
Yes? Yes?
Caesar is asking for you, lady.
Yes, I'll come soon.
He says at once. Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa is with him.
You'd better come down. And wait outside.
I don't understand you. You want to leave Rome, but you won't say why.
I told you why. You don't need me here anymore.
Let me be the judge of that.
I can be more use in the empire. Appoint me governor of Syria, and I'll deal with that Parthian king. It's about time someone dealt with him.
He wants to leave Rome.
Why, Marcus?
I told him why. Doesn't need me in Rome anymore.
That's not the reason. You're not being straight with me.
Not straight? Oh, no. Oh, no, don't say that to me. If there's one man being straight with you, that man is Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa.
Is it Marcellus?
Marcellus? What's he got to do with it?
I don't know. I thought perhaps you objected to my appointing him city magistrate.
It's got nothing to do with Marcellus. Except, of course, he's such a capable young man. He's just another reason why you don't need me here.
Look, Marcus, we're old friends. We've shared a lot of campaigns together. If Marcellus is upset...
Oh, lady, talk to him. He thinks I resent Marcellus. I'm very fond of the boy.
We all are.
If his friends get a little high-handed, well, I was young once too and had friends. Oh, yes. The greatest friend a man ever had.
Marcus.
Admit it, why shouldn't I? I'm not a man to hide my feelings.
Well, you know I feel the same.
Of course I do. I'd have gone long ago if I hadn't thought that.
Yeah.
And that is why I can say to you now that I've got nothing against Marcellus. Nothing. He's a very gifted young man. If you've advanced him a little ahead of his years, well, that's only natural too.
Well, I'm very relieved to hear it. I know there's been friction. Oh, I mean, not between you and him, but between his followers and yours.
Followers? Who has followers? Oh, he may have followers, I don't know about that. Such things don't even come within my notice, but me? I have followers? Show me, where are my followers? Lady, do you see any?
No, they're not followers, you know, but people they like to make factions. And that can make bad feeling quicker than boiled asparagus.
There's no bad feeling.
Well, you put my mind at rest. If you feel you have to leave Rome...
I don't feel I have to leave. I just think that I can be more use to the East. Of course, if you feel you really need me in Rome...
No, I'm sure you're right. You usually are. Your instincts are always very sound. When will you leave?
In a few days.
Then we'll have all Rome and Ostia to see you off. For the Senate and the people of Rome, eh?
For the Senate and the people of Rome.
Goodbye, old friend.
Goodbye.
Damn him! Who does he think he is?
We know whom he thinks he is. Your successor.
He's too old! I need to groom a younger man.
We can't do without Marcus Agrippa. Give him 4 or 5 months, then call him back.
No.
Do it, my dear. Better to call him back when you don't need him than have to humble yourself when you do.
No! I know what I'm doing.
My son is waiting outside to pay his respects and take his leave. Will you see him?
Yes, of course. Ah, Tiberius. You're off to join our troops in Germany.
Yes, Caesar.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you do well for us. And remember that we need good generals. The Empire won't hold together without. Now, write to me. Tell me all that's going on. I like to have views from all sides. It helps me to make up my mind about things. Yes. And now I have things to do. Yes, many things. Well, the best of luck go with you. And all the muses.
Could have saved myself the trouble.
Oh, you're so keen to save yourself trouble. Did that cost you so much, a hail and farewell?
He doesn't like me.
Well, we can't all be lovable, though we can all try a little harder.
It was my nature, and I can't change it now.
And wouldn't if you could, I suspect. You've a mighty high opinion of yourself on the quiet, haven't you?
I wonder you didn't transfer your hopes to my brother.
I might have done that long ago, if he didn't share the same idiotic hopes your father had of a return of the Republic. Besides, I took the auspices when you were born, and they were very favorable.
Oh, not that old chicken story again.
You may sneer all you like, but I marked the zodiac on the floor of the hen house, and a chicken came down and rested on your birth sign. I took its egg and warmed it in my hands, and it hatched, a young cock chick, and it already had a fine comb on its head. You haven't much patience, have you? You want everything at once. 20 years ago. Augustus ruled with Mark Antony, but I could see that wouldn't last. I could see that soon one man would be king. So I divorced your father and married Augustus and waited. Now, where would I be now if I'd wanted everything at once, eh? And by the same token, where would you be?
Well, where am I now? For all your patience and your prophetic chickens.
You are my son and I am Augustus' wife. That's where you are. And in the long run, that's better than being anybody else. Even Marcellus or Marcus Agrippa. Now you may kiss me and take your leave. Remember my prophetic chickens and have patience. Do well on the Rhine. Your brother is covering himself with glory in Illyricum. We mustn't fall behind.
Well, have I ever?
No. When it comes to the less imaginative arts, you are certainly to be relied upon.
And now my grandmother's mind turned more and more towards the removal of Marcellus.
Good day, Mother. Oh, you look a little peaked. Are you feeling well? Lady?
I slept badly last night. There seems to be so much noise in the streets at night. Can't we do something about it?
Well, the traffic must move sometime. Would you have it moving during the day and congest all the streets?
There's too many people in Rome. They keep on coming in from everywhere. Syria, Gaul, Germany.
But they're the lifeblood of the city, Julia. They make Rome what it is.
Noisy, garish, and uninhabitable. I should be glad to get away, and it'll be even worse when the games begin.
Look at that. Isn't it a beauty?
Off your tree?
Of course. You know you should eat more pears, Livia. They're very good for the skin.
Well, how can I eat them? You pick them all.
Well, I can have some more sent up from the country. Marcellus, we must talk about these games of yours.
Yes. Now, I want to do something new.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Well, if I'm to celebrate my appointment of city magistrate, I want people to remember it.
And what earth-quaking innovations are we to see? Giraffes? Riding elephants?
I want to tent in all the theatres and hang them with tapestries. I want to turn the whole marketplace into a gigantic, multicolored marquee. Cover it.
That's all?
No, I have an idea for a pitched battle between 50 Germans and 50 blacks from Morocco.
Yes? And who's going to pay for all this?
I am for part. And so are you.
Yes, that's what I thought. Come on. Would you consider 20 Germans against 20 black Moroccans?
He spoils him.
It would be hard not to. He has such winning ways.
Oh, yes, he has winning ways, all right. People are always falling over themselves to do things for him.
I must go in. It's too hot. Come, Antonia. I think you should lie down.
Coming, Mother. I gather there was some opposition in the Senate to Marcellus becoming a city magistrate.
Oh, nothing to speak of. Some friends of Agrippa, that's all. Huh. They're always ready to remind your father there are no kings in Rome.
I don't know why he bothers to put up with the farce of the Senate at all.
Well, your father observes the forms. It's very important. Romans like to believe they govern themselves.
Oh, the older ones do, perhaps. But I don't think it matters to us. You should hear Marcellus's friends talk.
He's very popular, isn't he?
Yes.
With you two?
Why do you ask?
Well, there are no children yet.
There's no issue between you and Father. And you've been married for 20 years.
True. Still, I'm very happy with your father.
And I am with Marcellus.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear it. There's no substitute for a happy marriage, you know.
No. Mind you, they seem to be few and far between these days. I always thought Tiberius was very lucky with his Vipsania.
Yes. Yes, they're very much in love. You know, when I first married your father, you were a little girl and Tiberius was a little boy and you used to play together. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
And then when you grew up, you seemed so fond of one another. I once had hopes that...
Yes, I used to adore him. How foolish one is when one is young.
I wish to await the arrival of Marcellus. My dear, you're not going to read letters and petitions during the performance.
I see no reason to sit here doing nothing while we wait for the games to begin.
Oh, it looks so bad.
These are urgent stuff.
My great-uncle, Julius, used to do it, and the crowd never liked it, you know. Wait till you see what Marcellus has arranged. He's got a rhinoceros.
What's that?
Oh, it's an extraordinary beast. He's got a horn in its nose.
So Scipio's wife could have used her.
Ah, Marcellus, we've been waiting for you. Julia, Octavia? Marcellus. He was popular. Are you all right?
I have a headache.
What a shame. The games are wonderful. Can't you come back?
No.
Marcellus is a huge success.
Yes. Yes, I could see that.
Yes, well, I'll go back to the games. You're not worried about me leaving, are you? You'll have Marcellus. He can do all my work.
How long will you be gone?
About 4 to 5 months. I haven't been to the eastern provinces for years. It's time I did.
Will you see Agrippa?
No, why should I? He never got any further than Lesbos. He sent his deputy to govern Syria. He's got a nerve. Well, I can manage without him now. You can see that. Now let him stew. I don't need him. Are you sure you're all right? Well, I'll go back to the games.
Yes? Are there any letters from the Emperor?
No, lady, but one has arrived for my Lord Marcellus.
Ah, now when you take that to him, ask him would he be good enough to come and see me before dinner. There are some names on this citizen's roll I want to discuss.
He already has the letter, but it seems my Lord Marcellus is in bed and has been seeing no one today.
Oh, what's the matter with him?
Oh, chill on the stomach, that's all. It's a pity his wife and mother went away.
Yes? Lady Livia has called, Master.
I'll ask her to come in. I can't stay in bed all day. I've got too much to do.
If you get up now, you'll be in bed all tomorrow, I promise you.
Wise, Musa, wise. Marcellus!
Oh, it's nothing, lady. It's a summer chill that's got on the stomach. I've worked through worse than this.
Have you eaten?
He can't keep anything down. It's natural, perfectly natural.
Well, it's natural if the food doesn't agree with him. I nursed Augustus all last summer, do you remember? And he ate everything I prepared for him. Everything.
I'll be well tomorrow.
These summer chills can be dangerous. Augustus was nearly carried off by one.
I'm not so easily disposed of.
I'd never forgive myself if anything happened to you.
What can happen to me? I wouldn't think of it. Well, my mother and Julia would.
Exactly. Your mother and Julia. And how, tell me, should I face them if anything did happen? Oh, no. I shall move my room next to yours, and I shall prepare all your food myself. You'll see what dainty little things can be served up to tempt a weak appetite.
But it's a chill, nothing more. Musa assures me.
I wouldn't pay too much attention to Musa if I were you. He thinks he cured Augustus with his potions, but it was my nursing that did it. And I shall nurse you.
Oh, Lady,
no. No arguments.
But why go to all the
I
trouble?
insist.
It's very good of you.
No, no, my dear. Goodness has nothing to do with it.
It's Musa, lady. He's getting worse. Much worse.
Yes. I'll come soon.
We ought to inform his wife and his mother. They should be here.
No, you exaggerate. Things have to get worse before they get better.
But he keeps nothing down. Nothing.
That is worrying, isn't it?
He's bringing up green slime. I've never seen anything like it.
Green, you say?
Yes, yes. Have you seen it before?
No, I've never seen green before. Well, perhaps it's a good sign.
Forgive me, lady.
You're thinner. But you look better. The life of the legions agrees with you.
Have I ever complained about the life of the legions? Frankly, I'd soon be in camp on the Rhine as here.
I had to call you back. Augustus is still in Greece touring the provinces. And Marcellus...
How is he?
I think he may die.
Has Augustus been told?
Well, yes, of course. As soon as it began to look serious.
When did he fall ill?
About a month ago. Musa said it was just a chill on the stomach, but I could see it was more serious than that, so I decided I'd nurse him myself. Well, his wife and mother were away. I've been at his side day and night. I prepare all his food myself, and I see that he eats it.
Frankly, I wouldn't have thought you'd cared whether he lived or died.
Oh, I care very much whether he lives or dies.
Have Julia and his mother been told?
Yes, of course. They're with him now. They returned at once. Julia is being hysterical, of course, and his mother never stops praying.
Well, let's hope that her prayers are heard.
Yes, indeed. And mine, too. Tell me, what do you think of Julia?
Nothing. Why?
Nobody could accuse you of being devious. She thinks very well of you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. She likes you, that's all. Always has.
Mother, I'm a happily married man. Julia doesn't interest me. She wouldn't interest me if you hung her naked from the ceiling above my bed.
She might even do that if I asked her.
Aren't you forgetting something? She's still married to Marcellus, and Marcellus is not dead yet.
When I start to forget things, you may light my funeral pyre and put me on it, dead or alive.
Well, don't ask me to divorce Vipsania, because I won't do it.
Oh, what a lover we have here. Did you bring back a pocket full of poems from the Rhine?
You may scoff all you like. Vipsania is the only thing in the world that means anything to me.
I always thought a boy's mother meant something.
Well, you do mean something. But so does she. So don't ask me to push her aside.
I may ask more than that before I've finished.
Anyway, where does all this get us? There's not only Marcellus, there's Agrippa too. And Augustus prefers both of them to me. Ye gods! What's that?
It sounds as though there is now only Agrippa. Julia. 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 Control yourself. That's a way for a Roman woman to behave.
But he's dead. He gave a great cry and then he rolled over and then he fell off the bed and he's dead. He's dead.
Wait here. Tiberius, take care of Julia. This is very grave. We must send to Augustus at once. Tiberius! I said take care of Julia.
Oh, no.
I did everything I could. Everything. I did everything I could. Everything I did for Augustus, I did for him, but it made no difference.
He's dead. You're sure he's dead?
My son is dead. You can be sure.
Poor Augustus. His heart will break.
It must have been food poisoning.
What do you mean, food poisoning?
The summer's been so hot. These things happen.
Yes, of course. Well, there has been a lot of it about.
I thought it was a chill. But I was wrong. Wrong. It must have been something he ate. There ought to be an inquest, I suppose.
No, there's no need of that. We know what he died of.
Do we?
Food poisoning! Well, you said so yourself.
Yes. But I couldn't swear to it.
No. But I could. Tiberius, take Julia to her room and comfort her. Stay with her a while. I'll send word to your wife what keeps you. My dear Augustus, a most unfortunate and tragic thing has happened. Marcellus, your adopted son, has unaccountably died after a short illness. No one is certain of the cause except that an attack of food poisoning is suspected. I must say, that does seem to me the most likely explanation.
Rome erupted into fury. The suspicious death of Marcellus led to renewed demands for a return of the Republic, the last thing my grandmother wanted.
They're rampaging through the streets. They're breaking the statues, they're looting the shops. All the city watchmen are out there dealing with them.
They're no use. Turn the guard out on them.
If we draw blood, I won't answer for the consequences.
Oh, you drooping lily. Do you want us all to be murdered in our beds? But go and talk to them then.
Are you mad?
No. And I'm not frightened of that rabble either. Out of my way.
I wish Just for once you will behave like a normal woman.
To be a normal woman, you need normal men around you. Oh! Let's get Agrippa back to Rome. He's the only one who speaks their language, if we can call it that. Whatever Augustus thinks, catch up this quarrel and get Agrippa back at any price. I'm going to write him at once. Meanwhile, order the guards onto the streets!
Marcus. Marcus! Oh, it's been too long, too long.
Not my doing, Caesar. I wouldn't have had it so.
Oh, Marcus, what silly things get in the way of friendship. How could we let them? How?
You could have come to me sooner. You knew where I was.
Oh, how could I come? Everyone knew how it was between us.
I'd have come to you. One word. Just one word. A hint, that's all. Would I have stayed away if I'd been sure of my welcome?
It's pride. Stupid pride. Did you have a good journey?
The sea was rough, but I didn't really notice it. I was thinking of you and me and how it was in the old days when we were young together.
Oh, let's not think of that. It's too painful to think of one's youth. We've come a long way together since then.
Not always together.
Marcus, there was never a time when you were out of my thoughts.
Forgive me, but it wasn't always obvious.
Oh.
No. Be just with me. There were times, oh, I can remember them, when that young man, and I'm sorry he's dead, when that young man went out of his way to insult me, with never a word of reproof from you. From my old friend, not a word.
Marcus, he was like a son to me. Now you have children, you know what it's like. Oh, perhaps I was foolish. Perhaps I did indulge him. But it seemed like high spirits, that's all. A little horseplay. Haven't we all been guilty of it?
Maybe. Yes, I'm sorry he's dead. I wouldn't have wished it. Though he was no friend to me.
Yes. I need my old friend again.
Now Marcellus is gone. You need Agrippa.
No, you must believe me. I'd already made up my mind to come and see you. Would I pass Lesbos without calling in? It's unthinkable. No, Marcus. I need you back in Rome.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm up to it anymore. Things are bad there, sir, here.
Oh, nothing much. There's been a little trouble. But that's not why I want you back. I want you back, Marcus, because that's where you belong. My old friend should be in Rome with me. I need that strong right arm again. What do you say?
It's yours.
Marcus.
But? Let's seal this bond tighter than it's ever been before.
How?
What's closer than a family tie? To be related by blood and marriage is a public declaration of what we mean to each other.
You're thinking of your children?
No, they're all right. No, I'm thinking of myself. You probably know that I don't get on with my wife.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, I don't. We haven't slept together for years. Of course, I'm speaking a little soon, I know, and one must observe the decencies, but Julia's a young woman. She'll get married again soon. Well, why not to me?
To you?
Oh, why not? Don't tell me I'm not good enough for your family.
Why not? It's a deal. You'll be my son-in-law. Have you thought of that?
I've thought of nothing else since I got your letter.
Why? Why did you agree to it?
Because he wanted it. It was his price.
His price?
Well, what could I say?
You could have said no.
No, I could not have said no. I saw no reason to say no. I understood why he wanted it.
So could anyone.
And what would you have done?
I could have handled him.
How?
I would have reminded him that he is a man of no background, and that to assume to enter the Julian family shows the want of modesty.
And you would have lost him.
I would not have lost him. I know very well how to deal with Marcus Agrippa.
As well as Asparagus should have lost him.
That is the most foolish expression. I wish you'd stop using
it. It's my expression. I'll use it whenever I like.
Ah!
I'm And why are you so opposed to this marriage? I see no reason for you to be.
It gives him more than he deserves.
That's not the reason. There's some other reason. Now, what is it?
There is no other reason! Except you might have consulted Julia first. Are we now to ignore the wishes of our children and sell them on the marketplace as if they were slaves? Have you no feelings?
But she got her way in the end. 9 years passed before Agrippa's services could be spared. Then he died. He poisoned by Livia. Tiberius divorced his wife and married Julia.